Dynamite, yo, rip up the bass.
Forced.
Alright, welcome back everyone to the USA Catch World Cup Semifinals. It's Sunday afternoon, 19 UTC, and we are here with the very last match of the weekend, a loser bracket match, Italy versus Canada. Either of these two teams will be knocked out after this one. I am Quinton, I'm joined by Luminite, but as a little disclaimer before we start things, I am just replacing JBI Piran until he comes back from wherever he is. I believe he's stuck in traffic or something, so I won't stay with you guys the entire way, but I'll be here as trying my best to replace the almighty JBI Piran, which is a difficult task. But either way, I'm here with Luminite. How are you doing, Luminite, on this beautiful Sunday?
Well, quite tired, but I also believe that the fact that Italy here means that Mexico lost. So I'm still trying to cope with that at the moment. I've been moving around a lot this weekend, so I haven't had a lot of time to catch up with the World Cup this weekend. So I just got hit with that news, and I was trying to deal with it right now.
Yeah, Canada can take revenge for you, Americans, and Italy can be the second European team getting to the top 6, because the winner of this match goes into the top 6 and the loser will be eliminated in 7th to 8th position. Both of these teams winning already one loser bracket match this weekend, Italy beating Mexico and then Canada beating out on Australia this last night. We see Italy taking away Hidden 3. I don't think there's any surprise in there. Looking forward to see what Canada will be banning. I assume it's going to be from the Hard Rock pool. I think Italy has definitely shown that their strongest mod bracket is Hard Rock, and taking that away from them seems like the most sensible thing to do. We'll have to just wait for that. So Italy lost the role, meaning they get to ban first, and then Canada gets to ban second and pick first. Given how both of these teams... Okay, they end up banning Hard Rock 1, which is a perfect, reasonable ban coming from Rock, and they pick Hidden 1 immediately. I mean, definitely just exploiting that weakness that Italy has on it. But keep in mind, Mexico tried it as well yesterday, and they lost on one of the two hidden maps. So Italy definitely not a team that just gets run over hidden, but out of all these map brackets, is definitely their weakest one. But weak is obviously relative. Okay, everyone's getting ready. JB up here just messaged me, telling me he has some more delay, so might stay a little bit longer, which I do not mind whatsoever. We see Kame, Arma, and Cycling coming from Italy. I mean, the same roster, I believe. I did not. I tried to figure out. Actually, never mind. I think Sir Waffle played this map last time, and it was Cycling now replaces Sir Waffle. I do believe. On the Canadian side, we see Katsuragi, Unlucky W, and Henry coming in. I mean, that's definitely their strongest hidden roster. I believe he might have played this against Australia. They were trying out some different rosters because they felt really comfortable against Australia. Also, well, I mean, also showcasing that in the eventual result, right, being 7-2. So that is why. But now they just go full try because obviously it means a lot for both of these teams. It's either top 6 finish or barely just missing out on that. So getting started with Rain Ding Dong, met by FD Fluorite, the Reedy Doe difficulty, custom made for this year's semifinals. Slightly less than 6 stars in difficulty and 3 minutes and 7 in length, and it's just wiggle all over the place.
Yeah, right out the gate, it looks like Canada's going to outspin Italy. Still got a lot of time, though. You said it was 3 minutes. Still lots of time. Oh, already a double miss on the Italian side, though.
Or Canada due to that combo and FC coming out of Henrik right now.
Yeah, the only FC left is Henrik. Unlucky missing again. Sokolin missing again. Lots of drops here. You can definitely see the wiggle hell that this map is.
Definitely. Yeah, it's Henrik versus Kame right now. Kame only in a 1 miss, or actually a 2 miss, but building up a nice comp for himself and Henrik on the FC. But all other 4 players do seem to be struggling quite a bit. Cycling dropping points again. Not able to get a buff to it on his combo, so somewhat bottlenecking his team right now. All Canadian players buff to combo. Cycling missing once again is going to increase that lead for Canada, and they have quite a large buffer build up. But that's Henrik dropping that last full combo of the lobby, missing out on those triplets, I do believe, and that is going to give the combo advantage in favor of Italy. But they have a huge amount in the climb. The Katsuragi drop is going to help them even more. Kame and Arm actually building up quite a nice combo. Cycling buff 200. Arm ends up dropping though. But that's still 2 combos buff 200 versus 1, actually 2 as well. Double discovery from Canada, so much happening right now. Unlucky W and Kame currently doing a lot of work for their teams. Cycling supporting Kame better though, and that's going to further decrease at least only 30,000 points in combo advantage in favor of Italy, actually.
Yeah, we have about a minute of the map left to go. Kame is really got... Okay, he's missed. I was gonna say, he really found his footing after a tougher beginning to this map. But he's finding more misses. Arma as well. Sokolin, the only person over that 200 cap on the Italian side now. Henrik and Unlucky for the Canadian side. Katsuragi finding his way up there. Sokolin now dropping as well.
Yeah, Canada being a little bit strong in the ending section of this map is definitely the hardest part. Italy barely has any combo. Arma approaching that 200 combo mark. Actually, double is coming from Canada as well. But is there enough time for Italy to come back? They need to keep holding on to their combos, and Arma ends up dropping, Kame ends up dropping, and that's going to be a clear victory actually for Canada on Hidden 1. Italy tried to keep it competitive for most of this map, but the ending section is just a little bit too rough. And I do believe that the how would you say it? The weird thing about this, or actually the good thing for Canada, was that they also always had one person holding on to combo for their team, right? Lucky W getting up to 800 combo, Henry getting up to 700 combo. That's just a huge difference. Making Kame on the other side, the Italian side, missing 19 times, which is a little more than anticipated, I do believe, coming in from his side. I think his score from yesterday was better, but he still also got until 900 combo. So a victory for Canada, but a little more hard fought than they would have hoped for, I do believe. But it was their pick, so Italy to go next. And I think Luminite, both of us can agree that we'll definitely see Hartford coming out, right? It's just Italy's. that bracket just has Italy written, and there we go, Hardrock 3. It has Italy written over it. I think Italy is the strongest Hardrock team still left in the tournament, or at least in contention. At least in the semifinals difficulty, not too certain on high difficulties, but Army and Kama and Sir Waffle as well. Definitely have to give him some credit as well for his hard performances throughout the entire Catch World Cup, for now at least.
So we're seeing Henrik come out. We're seeing my memory is so bad. It doesn't help that I'm tired. Who was on the top for Canada?
Katsuragi. So
yes,
Zakarian.
Ymir's coming in.
Yeah, Ymir coming in. I think that Surf slot is either going to be actually Wadbot coming in. I was not going to say that. I'm going to be honest with you, but I think Wadbot, being the only Canadian to have seen Double Time 1 yesterday, coming with a really solid performance, seems like a really good pick for Hardrock 3 as well. Has definitely improved in the consistency department a lot, and has been able to become one of Canada's main players, or at least one of definitely for picks like these, or Double Time 1 for example, definitely one of the more speed-oriented players. On the other side, I mean, Kame, Arma, and Sir Waffle is just going to be that trio for Italy. I think Canada is just more versatile, have more opportunities to switch around people. For Italy, that's lesser the case. I think Cyclone for Hidden, and then Vito perhaps for Hardrock. But then, I mean, this would be a Vito map in my opinion, and we see Sir Waffle actually playing it, so I'm not too certain if Vito's actually going to be coming in for Italy at all. So that could give us a slight advantage towards Canada, being able to switch around players more, but we'll have to see. Canada's pick coming out, Hardrock 3, it's a convert, so a converted difficulty. My first story smash out, and it's about, not an easy map whatsoever. We see the first match actually coming in from Ymir. Ymir being the Hardrock specialist from Canada, has quite a lot of impressive Hardrock scores and a lot of long marathon maps that no one can match in the community right now, or at least no one has tried. But Ymir dropping a second time is going to further increase that lead for Italy. But this one is a marathon, right? 3 minutes in length, so plenty of time to find more miss. And Lucky W is actually going to be the second to miss, so 2 full combos down already for the Canadian side, and Canada's actually clearly struggling in the beginning section of this map.
Miss coming in from Wadbot now, yeah. We're going to see no FCs left on the Canadian side. Italians so far running away with it, but it is a marathon, like you said, not a sprint. So there's still time for things to change.
Yeah, but that's already a 200,000 score lead for Italy, and they seem also confident. Unlucky W1 missing once more, and this could really be a spice becoming from Italy. Sorry, Waffle trading with Ymir, Kamen trading with Wadbot, only Armor still with a full combo, but look at that score difference though. They build up such a huge advantage. Unlucky W1 missing once again. I'm not too certain if it is nerves or just being uncomfortable hard or convert maps, but this one is being really one-sided, at least for the beginning section of this map. About a minute and 30 seconds left, but Ymir just really struggling, actually not able to hold on to any combo whatsoever. Wadbot missing again. Actually, we see 5 misses except for Arma. This is the Arma show right now, being so well supported by his teammates Kama and Sir Waffle, actually. Yeah, no combos on Canada, and that score is just further and further increasing. Wadbot dropping once again, a quarter left, but I think we need to see a complete meltdown coming out of Italy for now, and I don't think that's likely. Sir Waffle giving that first miss, but the fact that most of the Canadian players have not been able to get up to 200 combo that much is just, not helping him whatsoever. I mean, the score difference between Ymir and Armor is already 220,000, which is huge. So I think this one is kind of wrapped up already for Italy, and a really good pick coming in from them, and this might definitely be one of Canada's weaknesses, Hardrock converts. Luckily, there's only one Hardrock convert in the pool, which will be gone off this pick. Actually, Arments are dropping the FC. Doubleness coming from Italy, but Kame is above 200 combo, matched by Unlucky W and Ymir, so that score gap is going to decrease. But actually, great coming in from Wadbot and Kame, no combos above 200 for Italy, but Unlucky W dropping once again. And this one is coming to an end. Armor already above 1 million score, which is a beautiful point coming in from him. Cam and Sir Waffle as well, approaching 200 combo, and that is going to be 3 million team score actually coming from Italy. Pure dominance, 300,000 points advantage. And Wyomir especially struggling a little bit more than I personally anticipated, but the entire Canada team getting overshadowed by the entire Italian team. So beautiful pick coming out of Italy, and this one was way more dominant than that Hidden One, right? So a huge morale boost coming in for Italy, and well played to them.
Whenever a pick is this commanding of a lead, although it's impressive, I always have to be a little suspicious because if it's so one-sided, I have to wonder, did they just pick their strongest map first? Which is what you usually would do, but that makes me call into question how strong they are on everything else. Granted, they just showed dominance in Hard Rock, so they can continue to do that, but it just makes me wonder how close or how far apart anything that Italy picks is going to be after this.
Yeah, it could well be, or it could just be that Canada's just really weak on it as well. But I think that it's hard to 3 pick is not a surprise for anyone. Italy has always been going for that hard bracket, and Canada would have expected, but they're just not able to match. And I think that looking at the other mod brackets, I think you're definitely right in the fact that those are going to be way closer. And I think Hard Rock 2 as well, because it's a specific, and Hard Rock specifics and conference are just 2 completely different breeds, even though it's the same mod bracket. So Hard Rock 2 is going to be way more competitive, I do believe. But we are waiting for Canada's pick, and they go for Mixed Mod 2, I believe. That is 2Ms, right? It is 2M. So we see Ken's map getting picked once again. It's been picked quite a few times, and that's because it's a beautiful map. And the gimmicky part about it is that there's no hyperdashes on Nomad. There's only a single hyperdash on Hard Rock. I think most of the viewers should know that by now if they watched all the other matches, or at least some of those. It's 2 minutes in length, and well, yeah, it's rough for all players actually. The AR is relatively low, and it's a dense map, making it hard on Nomad and especially on Hidden. And then the Hard Rock department, you have to be really precise as well. So, but we saw a couple of FCs coming out on this map. I believe that Sakura and Titobas have a Hard Rock FC on this one. Tracer has a Hidden FC. There were, I believe, Yang CTB had a Nomad FC as well. So it is FCable. But to have your entire team FC on all 3 mob brackets, that does seem somewhat unlikely.
Fun fact, this song, Plum Mad Piano Party, was also used in Tiger World Cup for the quarterfinals, also in Free Mod, which is our version of Mixed Mod. So it's funny to see it in the exact same mod bracket.
I think it's a type of song that is, how would you say, that leans towards a mixed mod map, I would say, because the song just, you'll see in the map, it's perfectly mapped to the song, and it's just it creates how would you say it? I'm not that fluent in mapping terms, but I feel like it is, if there is one song that I would describe as a mixed mod song, it would be these types of songs that speed up and slow down in the middle of them, that sounds really wiggly, or you can map them really wiggly. And that's exactly what Ken did, and he did it in a really beautiful fashion. So Sir Waffle facing off Unlucky W on the Nomad, Kame versus Katsuragi in the Hidden, and then Arma versus Henrik on the Hard Rock. Katsuragi being the first, actually, as soon as I say that, being the first to drop. In fact, I was going to comment on them being the main hidden player for the Canadian roster. We see Kame betraying that miss, and it's going to favor Canada, given how Katsuragi's first was early. And Arma missing as well is going to further increase that lead for Canada. No full comms actually left on the Italian side, clearly struggling in the beginning section of this map, actually. Everyone from Canada buff 200 combo is giving them this full score bonus. Still 2 FCs from Lucky W and Henrik. Everyone from Italy as well, buff 200 combo. That's going to, I believe, about 100,000 score names. Henrik dropping, that's the first miss, but I think they at least need one more. But that's going to tie things up between Arma and Henrik. And there's that second miss actually coming out from Katsuragi. This is going to get really tight as soon as everyone buff 200 combo. Lucky W, the lone FC left in the entire lobby. Italy recovering quite nicely from those early slip-ups, in fact. I still think it's about a 1 miss buffer for Canada, so they can keep holding on to their combos. They should have this one in the bag. About 400 combo left, a third of the map. The ending section is a little wider, so Waffle ends up dropping. That's going to further increase that lead. Henrik once again above. Arm and Camera also having really huge combos. Unlucky W is still at the double. That's currently beautiful performance coming out of him. As soon as I say that, though, he ends up dropping, but that should not be a difference maker. As long as his teammates can hold on to combo. The hardest section is coming up, and Henrik ends up dropping, though. That's going to. Oh, that scoreboard is decreasing rapidly. That's going to switch things in favor of Italy. Are they going to be able to steal this at the end? Gami ends up dropping. Katsuraga is holding on. Everything from Canada is holding on. It's getting really close in the end, actually. Is anyone going to miss on the end? Katsuraga dropping. That's
no!
Spinner battle?
No! Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. That is a 3,000 score difference due to a miss from Katsuragi on, I believe, the 20th to last note or something like that. That is a beautiful performance coming from Italy. Beautiful break point, definitely a clutch, and that is heartbreak for Canada. These are the type of points that can make or break your match if you look back at them in the end, and that is that's unfortunate for Katsuragi. That is definitely a little bit tilting. Beautiful performance coming from all 6 players, honestly. Only singular or double misses. I think the most was 4. I can't remember on which individual, but that's Italy actually breaking Canada on Mixed Mod 2 and is their pick next. And I think we're all fancying that Hardrock 2 map to be picked by them, but they might go somewhere else to surprise us. I personally doubt it, but we'll see. Hardrock 2, there we go, yeah. No surprises here. Continuing the streak of picking Hardrock and beating teams on Hardrock. Yesterday they played this against Mexico, and Arma had some keyboard issues, which made it that Mexico was able to snatch the point away, in fact. So, Italy currently being 1-0-1 on this map, but I do believe that if Arma can play this map without keyboard issues, that their team score is going to skyrocket. Curious to see how they'll do. Kami and Sir Waffle have really nice scores on this. But I think Cowboy in particular as well on the Mexican side also really nice score in this, so that was countered by him. Let's see if Canada can break back immediately, because if Italy is able to convert his breakpoint, they have a 1 point buffer, right? 1 breakpoint buffer rather, so that's creating a different dynamic. But we'll see how it goes. We see Fuhi can make his first appearance, I do believe, and then Unlucky W and Henrik coming in for this one as well. So no Wadbot, which we saw in the Hardrock 3, and also no Wymir. So completely changing their, or at least 2/3 of their their Hardrock roster on the Italian side. No differences whatsoever. This song is a banger. Illuminite is a really good song. Mapped by Nosary, also known as Momo X, 2 minutes rather in length, and it is really wiggly. The map itself flows quite nicely, in my opinion, so it's a little bit easier for those that are not Hardrock mains, mainly looking at someone like Sir Waffle than I do with. Actually, Sir Waffle does play quite a lot of Hardrock, but this is definitely in his ballpark. Henrik being the first to drop in the early section. That's going to give Italy about a 10,000 point advantage or something like that, which could be outspun by Canada, but I believe the end spin is not that long, so they need at least 1 miss coming out of Italy, and it does seem quite likely given how it's a semifinals map, but we'll see, you never know. This part in particular plays so nice, and it's such a good song as well. Kami being the first, double miss coming out of Italy, actually. Yep. Canada holding on quite nicely. All 3 of them above to a combo. Arma matching that, right? The bottleneck yesterday definitely being set to pick up right now, but that double miss coming out from Italy is not helping them whatsoever. And no breaks coming out. A double miss coming out from Canada, but 1 traded by Sir Waffle. That's still going to give the advance towards Canada. Henrik missing again. I think that's going to. A double miss
dropping now, yep.
And that is going to hurt Canada quite a lot, given how Arma and Canada are above 200 combo. And that is in the slow section. A team is coming out of Canada in the slow section. And look at that score bar loading up for Italy. None of Canada above 200 combo. And they can see they're in front right now. And that is a 60,000 score difference. Quite a huge score margin. Canada has to hope for at least 2 misses coming out of Italy in the ending section of this map, which is possible. It gets a little bit more tricky, but it's in the same style as the rest of the map, so those that feel comfortable primarily looking at Arma with the double should not feel any issues at the ending either, I do believe. And as soon as I say that, they do end up dropping, but Henry ends up trading it, and they need at least 2 more misses from now on. Sir Waffle and Cam is still holding on to a beautiful combo. Lucky double and Few only on the 1 miss right now. Sir Waffle dropping is going to help Canada, but I think they need 1 more miss from Italy. This is getting really close to the wire. That score is about 30,000 points. Cam holding on, Arma holding on right now. Canada also not giving an inch towards Italy. But I think they have quite a decent score for build up, and the lost spinner is not that long, and that difference is not outspinnable. And that's going to be a victory by about 35,000 points for Italy, which is about 1 miss. And I mean, Fury with the 1 miss, Kama with the 2 miss, Arma with the 1 miss. Beautiful scores coming from all of the players in the lobby. Actually, lowest score being 1.01 million from Henrik, but that is still a beautiful performance. But that's Italy actually confirming their breakpoint. That's a 3-1 scoreline in favor of the Italians, in fact. Curious to see where Canada wants to take this. I think there's still 1 hidden pick left, which could be something they want to go for. I think that, yeah, I mean, double time is going to be a really close battle between these 2 teams. Nomad is going to be the same because, I mean, Sir Waffle is mainly a Nomad player, and then Cam and Arma just, I mean, they're all-rounders, right? So Nomad seems really strong for Italy. Mixed mod, well, they just lost on Mixed mod, and we see Hidden 2 getting picked, in fact, so they're going to go for that second Hidden map, trying to break Italy's momentum. And Luma, I'm not sure if you have seen this map already, but oh boy, it is a tough one. We've seen multiple, we have seen 1 FC on it with an A rank, I believe missing about like 40 droplets or something, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, the map is just, the droplets are all over the place, and they're just uncatchable.
Yeah, I did see a Secker tweet about this map. Something about not wanting to ever touch a. No, it was a different map, I think. But no, I did see a tweet about it, and well, I mean, that's what Igor does. You know what I mean? Like when we used Igor and Tycho. We did it to make everything really messed up and weird. So that doesn't surprise me that's the niche that this map is filling.
Yeah, listening to the song it already paints somewhat of a picture of how difficult this is going to be. It's AR9, so the AR is relatively forgiving in the fact that it's not, well, it's not lower. But I think you have to be quite a specialist already to be playing this. And Cycling coming in for Sir Waffle. Cycling being a hidden player, but does struggle a little bit with consistency, especially on these later pulls. So, but it's definitely a better pick than Sir Waffle and something like this. Henrik missing about 20 combo in. That should not be a difference maker. Traded by Cycling. Kame dropping as well. Triple is actually coming out of Italy. Only Unlucky W left with a full combo, 100 combo into this map. That just paints the picture of how difficult this is. And the beginning section is actually the easier section because it gets progressively harder in my opinion. Henrik dropping once more, but I think that triple miss from Italy is giving Canada some leeway, but it's going to get a little bit tighter given how Henrik is trailing behind. But Arma missing, Kame missing, Unlucky W dropping the loss. I see Cycling missing as well. No combos on Italy once again. Katsuragi stepping up for Canada, pulling a lot of score for them. But this is a massacre at the beginning. Katsuragi dropping as well. Henrik above 200 combo now, not matched by anyone from Italy. They're building their combos though, but I still think that 200 combo from Henrik is a little bit more valuable in comparison to, for example, the deficit from Katsuragi versus Sakhalin. But at least building up as well. Katsuragi dropping once again. That is going to switch that combo favor in Italy's favor, in fact. And Henrik dropping no trades coming out of Italy. They have stabilized on this pick, and look at that scoreboard. It's going to switch in favor of Italy. Unlucky W, no combos left on Canada. And look at Italy going, actually. 3 combos above 300 right now.
Losing 1 of the 3. Kelme dropping now. Arma also dropping. Triple miss on Italy. That's exactly what Canada wanted to see. Katsuragi coming back up to that 200 combo cap.
Yeah, double miss coming out from Canada, but from Italy actually. Henrik trading one of those. We got Suraga, the sole person with combo right now, pulling in so much work for Canada. Look at that scoreboard, it's going back in favor of Canada, but it's going to get really, really close. In fact, I think they need one more miss actually, because Canada's already above 200 right now. But the streamy section is coming up, and that's the hardest section in my opinion.
They're going to get their miss in Sakhalin.
Yeah, Sakhalin is going to be the one providing that miss for Canada. But Henrik trading it, so that should tie things up once again. It's going to get really close to the last score of this map. Double is coming out of Canada, rather. And Arma and Kame still hold on to combo, and that is their FC the entire hardest section of the map. Sakhalin ends up dropping, but Canada needs those two Italians to drop, and it does not seem likely. And the ending section of this map is relatively easy. And look at that scoreboard for that 60,000 points in favor of Italy. Kame and Arma doing so much right now. They need one more minute. I think they need at least a team is coming out of Italy, and Henry being the one to drop, in fact. And that is actually Canada losing on hidden against Italy. The same mistake Mexico made. Mexico also lost on hidden. I believe it might have been this pick, in fact. But wow, alright, Italy. Italy showing up today, beating one of the, on paper, I would say. Actually, look at that score from Arma. What a beautiful performance. Only a 4 miss coming out of Arma. 900,000 points. And okay, then that is yeah, a beautiful performance coming out of Italy. And that's a 4-1 scoreline. This is looking grim for Canada, losing on their mixed mount 2 pick by 4,000 points, but now getting, I would say, beaten fair and square on this hard hidden 2 pick as well. And that's true breakpoint advantage for Italy on those type of maps where we would suspect Canada to be a clear favorite on, right? Hidden pool is not something that Italy is known for, but they seem to be really, really good right now. Alright, and Italy stepping up today. 3 more points needed, and they have secured another top 6 finish, which is similar to their performance 2 years ago, where they ended up finishing 4th, barely missing out on the podium. Canada last year, I believe they got 5th to 6th, so if they were able to win this match, they would repeat that performance from last year. But Italy is showing up today, right? Luminite, I think. Yeah, winning on hidden is just something Italy's not known for, and doing that against a team like Canada is a beautiful performance.
For sure, for sure. That being said, I am definitely out for blood, like you mentioned earlier today, since they eliminated Mexico. So, you know, bittersweetness. They did great, but I kind of don't want them to do great.
Yeah, they also beat Belgium, to be fair. So I think both of us can have a small grudge against Italy. But to be fair, they are my wonderful people and my European companions. And I have to kind of vote for Europe, right? Make Europe great again. Trying to get a top 3 for the first time in like 6 or 7 years or something. So, but double time 1 coming out of Italy, in fact, and this is a interesting pick, given the fact that Wadbot was able to see it yesterday. But they do feel confident on it. The song is really good, made by Crowley, and it's 8.6. So yeah, it's on the. It's not high, it's not low. The DT is just. Yeah, regular. I think it translates into like AR10 or 9.9, which is similar to Hardrock, right? So should be definitely comfortable for all players in the lobby. You see Weimar making their appearance again. Henrik staying in. Wadbot being able to FC that yesterday against Australia, but this match is against a better team, and they are 4-1 down. So pressure might build up for the Canadian players, and I think this is kind of a do or die moment already. Losing this pick and you're trailing 4 points against a dominant team like Italy, and that is not what you'd want to see being one of the Canadian players. But first things first, we have to play the map before we can judge the outcome. Arma, Kame, and Sir Waffle, the Italian trio, staying in. Henrik, Weimar, and Wadbot trying to break them on their double time 1 pick. Early drop once again. I believe Henrik has early missed all of his maps he played except for that hard. Actually, did he miss on the hard? He did also miss on the hard map in the beginning, so probably not too focused, or might be some slight input lag at the beginning of the maps. But that's going to give Italy a slight buffer. But Kame missing.
It could also be intentional. I'm starting to feel like it might be intentional.
It could be a big brain strategy. But they did lose one pick by 4,000 points, which could have been a different pick. I don't think Henrik missed in the beginning of that map, actually. But either way, it could definitely be intentional. He's only trailing by about 10 combo on his teammates, and Canada's still on to a 2.9 FC, you could say. And Italy on the 1 miss right now is giving Canada a slight advantage in the beginning section of the map, but this one is relatively long, right? 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 40 rather, with double time. 1 minute dropping is going to switch that back in favor of Italy. Arma and Sir Waffle still on to the FC. On the other side, Wadbod, the lone Canadian FC. And Wadbot ends up dropping, in fact, to double miss coming out of Canada, and that is not looking too great on their side. Henrik being the lone combo, but Kame, Sir Waffle, and Arm, the 3 of them still above 600 combo and counting. And Wadbot is struggling, the pressure getting to him right now. Wymir is still not above 200 combo, and that score bar looking up for Italy. That's already a 100,000 score difference. And these guys are out for blood today. Arma and Sir Waffle still holding on to the double FC. Wymir dropping once again. Break coming up, and Italy can see they are 120,000 points in the lead with the combo advance as well. And wow, alright Italy, this is looking really, really good for them. I think all 3 players will hit the 4-digit combo mark, and Canada needs at least 6 or 7 misses coming out of Italy, and that seems very unlikely. Wymir going to be the one to drop instead. And Sir Waffle and Arma are just going right now. Sir Waffle ends up trading a miss with Y, but that should definitely not matter. Kame, all eyes on Arma, in fact. Is he going to be able to bring home that FC? Henrik as well, completely overshadowed right now, but also on the 1 miss, right? That perhaps intentional miss on the beginning section of the map. Trying to do so much for his team, but his team sadly not able to back him up as much as we would have hoped for. I think Arma was able to bring up the FC. Henrik with the 1 miss, Kame with the 1 miss. Sir Waffle ending up missing 6 times, but still with a beautiful combo himself. And that is a 5-1 scoreline for the Italian team, and they seem unbeatable right now. Performing so beautifully well, way better than they did yesterday versus Mexico, and even they won that match by quite a big margin as well. So Italy looking really, really strong, and I would say they have 1 foot in the finals week already right now. They just have to convert, just to focus and keep going the way they've been playing right now, and that is pretty much guaranteed finals. So let's see a last minute complete. How would you say it? Resurrection of the Canadian team, because currently they're just outmatched by Italy. Canada's pick is next, and they go for Nomad too, so they're trying to switch things up, which is definitely something I like to see personally. New mod bracket, trying to see if that can work out. But the thing as well, we have to keep in mind that losing this pick, well, losing any pick for Canada right now is putting Italy on match points. So that's not looking too great for the Canadian roster. Nomad 2 coming out a Gen 2 Nomad technical map. And if we think about Gen 2 and Nomad, you see a lot of tap dashes, a lot of stacks and wiggles, like a combination of the 3. And I mean, the song, if just listening to it, just already once again paints a picture of how technical this Nomad pick is going to be. Being 6.72 stars, which is already quite high. And I think it's one of the highest star rates in the pool, actually, in fact. Now look at W, Fury, and Henrik trying to salvage this for Canada, trying to put them a 2nd point on the boards. The Italian roster staying exactly the same, and I think we can imagine staying the same for the rest of the match. In fact, Nomad 2 is definitely a map that Sir Waffle should feel relatively comfortable on. Being, I would say, well, he's top 15 in the world in the PP rankings, but as a Nomad player, he's definitely at least top 30, and I would even say even better. And most of the time when we talk about Italy, it's Kame and Arma show, right? But the addition of Sir Waffle, I think he joined the CWC for the first time last year or the year before that, has definitely given this Italian roster so much more firepower. And it's been showing, right? Okay, they lost against France in a really close match in the round of 16, but after that, they've just been steamrolling team after team after team, taking out Brazil, Belgium, Mexico, and now trying to take out Canada as well for a top 6 finish. Everyone getting started quite nicely in this Nomad 2 pick, getting above 200 combo. Ending is especially difficult, and it is crucial to build as much combo as you can before the ending comes, because you can expect some miss to come out in the ending. Sir Waffle being the first to drop out of all 6 players, going to give the advantage towards Canada in the beginning sections of this map. Actually, a double miss coming out of the Italian roster. Only Arm is still with an FC, and triple FC coming out of Canada. We're only a quarter in, but that's already quite a huge score margin for Canada, about a 2.5 miss lead for them. All the C's above 600 combo. I think the map in total is about 1,500 combo, so quite a lot to go. Fuey and Cam trading misses on the back and forth, but that is just going to favor Canada, in fact, given the fact that they have quite a huge score buffer already. It's a really difficult section coming up with some back and forths, I do believe. Yeah, Sir Waffle getting caught out by those, and that's going to further increase that lead for Canada. Kame dropping once again. Arm is doing everything he can, right, holding on to the double S, but then on the Canadian side, we still have 2 FCs coming out of Unlucky W and Henrik. And this pick is looking really good for Canada. It's theirs to lose. 100,000 scoring. Sir Waffle dropping once again is going to further increase that, but we are approaching the last quarter, and this ending is brutal. Sir Waffle somewhat struggling, in fact, further increasing that lead for the Canadian roster. Curious to see if any of the 3 FCs are able to bring home that FC, which would be quite the feat on its own. Sir Waffle missing once again, but I think Canada's this one wrapped up. Kame dropping once again. The bottom side on Italy slow, starting quite a bit actually. Henrik missing, dropping the FC. Unlucky W still with the FC. Arma still with the FC. 2 FCs on either side. Beautiful performance coming up from the top of your screen right now. Arma and Unlucky W trying to bring home that double, that FC, and they both do in fact. But it's Canada's point, and they win the pick by about 250,000 points. And Kame and Sir Waffle in particular definitely struggling on this one. Canada on the board 2-5 scoreline, but they are still trailing behind 2 breakpoints. But this is the first step towards closing that gap. And this pick is was a really good pick coming out of Canada, and Unlucky W in particular, beautiful performance in a really stressful situation. So good to see. We see Italy immediately picking double time forcer, going for a lower AR double time converts, staying away from high AR double time, being DTT in 2 and 3. So well, yeah. Curious to see how this double time 4 pick is going to pan out. I don't think Canada played against Australia. Trying to remember if Italy played against Mexico. I think they did, in fact. Don't quote me on it. I can't remember. My apologies. We see Cat's Ride coming in once again for Canada, and then awaiting a third player for them. I think it might be. I was gonna say Fuhi, but it ends up being Henrik. Once again, we can see that versatility from Canada, right? Switching out a lot of players all the time for different maps. It has not worked out as often as I would like to, but I think this is a solid roster for this type of double turn map. And if they're able to break Italy on this one, they're definitely one step closer towards the victory. Obviously, because they get another point. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, best case scenario for Canada is to win every single pick after this and avoid tiebreaker, because Italy's already right there.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Italy on this tiebreaker is actually Canada, though, had a really solid performance on the tiebreaker last week, where they were able to get 2 FCs coming out of, I believe, Henrik and Weimir, I think that was. And that was really solid performance coming from them. So I'm not sure who to favor in a tiebreak situation, but we're quite a long distance away from that still. There's still at least 5 picks left before we would get to a tiebreaker, and that's also an if, definitely not a guarantee at this point. And we are getting everything set up. We're getting started for double time for Kamar TT coming out of Italy. Unlucky W, Wadbot, Henrik facing off Kame, Arma, and Sir Waffle. This one is 3 minutes in length, so quite comparable to that double time one pick that Italy won on quite confidently. It's a different map, right? It's a comrade, not a specific. And the CS is a little bit high. Henrik, once again, missing in the early section of a map. Is this intentional or not? I don't think it is, but he has some issues going on with his focus in the first 10 or 20 seconds of a map, and I think that's like, if I were keeping count, I would say this is number 5 or number 6 already out of, well, it's only been 7, 8 maps, so perhaps number 5. I would say number 5. Either way, small advantage for Italy, giving Henrik's miss at 20 combo.
Getting a really big miss from Arma there.
Yeah, that's going to favor Canada, in fact, as all of their players are above 2 in combo right now.
Double miss from Henrik and Kame there.
Yeah, that's just going to favor Canada, in fact, given how Arma is approaching to the combo. Henrik ends up dropping once more, but I think that should still be a Canadian advantage, but it's going to decrease just a little bit, and it's going to get really, really close. Sir Waffle still up onto the double as the lone FC on the Italian side. Wadbot and Unlucky W doing wonders right now for Canada. In the beginning section, there's double time 4 pick, but still about a 1 minute and 30 seconds left, so plenty of room.
Arma finding another drop though. It's gonna give Canada. Oh no, Wadbot's gonna trade it now. Oh.
Yeah, but Sir Waffle dropping is going to favor Canada. Was getting an Unlucky W. Stepping up for Canada when they need him. FCing that Noma 2, but can also seeing double time 4 right now. The only FC left in the lobby. Henrik supporting him as much as he can. Sir Waffle dropping once again is just going to keep favoring Canada, in fact. And only a third left, a slower section right now. There is a memory jump coming up, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope no one gets caught out by that. But all players are approaching 200 combo, and that's a 60,000 score difference in favor of Canada. I think that's about a little less than 2 misses. Henrik dropping once, so that's not gonna help them. But they should still have the advantage. Unlucky W approaching 4-digit combo right now, still rolling up to the double S as well.
Wadbot dropping 2 now. Oh, we got a double miss on Italy now though.
Yeah, an easy trade by Canada. It's Unlucky W versus Kame right now. Unlucky W still holding on to the FC. That's a 12,000 score advantage for Canada if they can hold on to their combos right now. They have this one in the bag. It's a really nerve-wracking ending. Trade coming out from Hurricanes.
Oh, unlucky!
Kame and Arma.
Kame also missing. Oh my goodness.
Kame held on to the combo a little bit longer, and I think that's going to favor Italy. They need one more miss. It comes out from Arma, but that's a 6,000 score difference in favor of Italy. And once again, right at the ending, Canada loses it. And that's twice that they have lost a pick that was less than 7,000 points. That is so unfortunate for Canada. And both of their players leaving the lobby quite rapidly. I think they're somewhat frustrated. I think the correct word is that just to put it. Unlucky W with the one miss. Beautiful performance coming out from him, but that is Italy getting to match point already. It's Canada's pick though, so they can still try to figure something out. But that's 5 match points for Italy, and honestly, this match could have been a 4-4, right, Luminite? I think Canada just missing twice right at the ending gave Italy 2 points that were really, really close. And a 4-4 scoreline or a 6-2 scorelines, those are 2 different worlds. We're living in a multiverse right now, and sadly, this is sadly for Canada, this is a multiverse, the universe where Italy is winning by 6-2, but it could have been a 4-4 universe as well. We see Canada taking their time out, which is, I think, a good idea. Their tournament life is on the line, right? The pick they pick now might be their last, and that will be the same story for every pick coming off of that as well. So, easy task here. And they still have Mixed Mod 3 and Mixed Mod 1 left. They have High or Double Time left, and they have No Mod left. So, not an easy choice to make. I'm not sure what do you think Canada will pick, Luber Knights? Do you think they'll go once again for No Mod? Because they were quite dominant on No Mod too, right? So,
Yeah, I feel like they might have to hedge their bets and go for Novod. It's just like I don't. I could see them doing a mixed mod if they want to be risky, but just how risky do they want to be? Because if they do mixed mod and then they lose it, it's over. So it's a tough spot for Canada to be. This is exactly where you would expect a timeout to be called, if any were to be called.
yeah, definitely the case. They will need to pick something. As we said, about 7 maps left. I think Mixed Mod 3, which is, well, the most niche pick out of all the remaining picks, given how it's CS 6.9 for hard to get air, 7.5 for hidden and Nomad. But it could also go for air and night double time, but the thing is, Arm and Kame are, well, yeah, they're speed players, right? And I think it's going to be that third player. And Sir Waffle has been relatively consistent during this match, so curious to see where they'll be going, in fact. Nomad 1 also still open. Relatively comparable to Nomad 2 in my opinion, so that could, well, also be something they want to go for. Yeah, Canada taking Nomad 3 actually coming out of Canada, and this is a beautiful map. It's a technical convert coming out of Canada, and well, yeah, the song is also really hype in my opinion.
Culprit is a really good featured artist.
Definitely. They make some banger music. This map is 3 minutes and 45 in length. And, well, yeah, it's just all around technical. We saw 2 FCs on it. One by Yes My Darkness, one by Alexi. Everyone else has already missed on it. At least all of those teams that played it. And in this situation, FC would be huge for Canada. We see Unlucky W staying in. Definitely their most consistent player at this point, I would say. Definitely over the last 2 picks in particular. Fury and Henrik also coming in. I think this is a really scary roster coming out of Canada. On the Italian side, well, yeah, no changes as expected. But yeah, this map, 3 minutes and 45 minute length, a marathon consistency tester. But the thing is, it's really technical. There's a lot of places where you can miss. There's a lot of really wide patterns, I would say, where you have to place your catch perfectly or you miss. Like those streams that just widen in length whilst you're catching them. So not that easy. Stacks, right? I think the word is not streams. My apologies. But Unlucky W, Fury and Render trying to save Canada from the jaws of defeat. 2-6 scoreline for Italy, 5 match points. It's up to them to bring this back for Canada on Nomad 3. Combo is really calm, and then it speeds up. There's a spinner there, and the following note's right in the middle. But I think most people will catch it. This is a spinner trap. But all individuals should have practiced this map, right? And yeah, and Henrik not missing in the beginning combo as well for the second time this match, I do believe. So that is already looking promising for Canada. And those are those type of stacks that get a little wider, right? All players catching it. And miss coming out from Arma and Henrik trading, so it should stabilize once again. Kami ends up dropping once, and that's going to favor Canada. Unlucky W and Fury still with the FC. No, actually, Sir Waffle still with the double S, in fact. But ends up dropping it as well, and ends up dropping combo as well. Fury trading it though. Unlucky W, Lone FC left in the lobby for a combo into this technical Nomad pick. Everyone approaching 200 combo, and it's about a 20,000 score difference in favor of Canada. So only one miss separating these two teams. They've been neck and neck on most of these maps. Canada being on the wrong side of the coin multiple times now. This is the point where they start getting Lady Luck on their side, or Lady Skill actually, because these players have been playing really well all before the combo. Unlucky W still with the FC, in fact, but he ends up dropping with Arma trades it immediately, and it should just keep things the way they are right now, being at a 1 disadvantage for Canada. A triple is coming out of Italy, actually. That's huge for Canada. Only Fury trading it, but Henrik right now with 700 combo and counting, and that local score bar is loading up. Triple miss coming from Italy on that part is not helping them. Yeah, everyone can building up to 200 combo in this slower section. This is the second spinner. Once again, a spinner trap in the middle. Is anyone going to get caught out by it? But no one does get caught out by it. And that's, I believe, a 2 or 3 miss advantage for Canada. I mean, a triple miss from Italy was heartbreaking for them. Only a quarter left in this map. Henrik seems really comfortable, approaching 1,000 combo and counting. But he ends up dropping, though.
I feel like you've been cursing these people a lot today.
I've made a power zoom. I have no idea where it came from, but I've cursed a lot of people today. You're gonna say a random name. We'll see if they miss Sir Waffle. Oh my goodness, there's no way. Okay, sorry for that. Henrik ends up trading that miss though. So that's still favored Canada. In fact, they have 2 combos matching Cam and Armor right now. Cam ends up dropping. Look, W sets of trading. Fury being the lone combo, Canada and Armor matching that. Henrik dropped more. That's going to decrease that score bar. Sir Waffle is forcing to a combo, but they need one more miss. Cam ends up dropping. That's going to help them. And I think the latter stakes concern of this map is not going to provide any misses coming out of Canada, and this should be a clear point for them. They have this one wrapped up. Fury with a beautiful combo at the end. It's Canada. 3rd point on the board, and in fact, it does. That's a 40,000 score advantage for Canada. 2 miss coming out of Fury and Unlucky W. Beautiful performance coming from Canada all around in 3-6 scoreline. And by the way, Luminite, I'm not sure if my commentary is a little bit delayed in comparison to the stream, but I think I actually said Sir Waffle at the exact moment he missed, and that was insane. I was like, let's say a random name, and wow, all right. I'm gonna rewatch that. I mean, hey,
I'm cheering for Canada here. So if you want to continue to do that for these next few picks, I'm totally cool with that.
All right, but now it's Italy's pick. In fact, they still have 2 breakpoints in front, right? So Canada have to break Italy twice. Mixed mod, 2 maps left. Double time, still 2 maps left. So curious to see where Italy wants to take this, and I think. I'm not sure. No one has been quite Canada favorite for now, but might just go for mixed mod. Wow, that was insane. Actually, if someone could clip that, so I can watch that, that would be really wonderful. Thank you very much. They also timed it actually in Italy, so they were a little bit, how would you say it, a little shaken by that Nomad 3, I would say. And trying to figure out the best pick for now. Canada is still in this one. It would be a remarkable comeback coming out for them, but they have set the first step. 4 more steps to go. I think there are no more safe picks left for either team, right? This is already pick number 10, so that's a 5th pick for your team. And I think at this point you picked all of your comfort picks, right? From now on, you're going into unknown territory, right? Testing some new waters, and that could backfire, or it could work out. And again, apologize to Team Italy for definitely putting Canada there a little bit by saying Sir Waffle. Just just want to have this match keep going on, right? Totally unbiased.
If
yeah,
you
where
buy,
does... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, if you buy an Italian banner for $2.50, you will use that money to punish Quinton. So feel free, if you are an Italy fan, to purchase an Italian banner, or for anyone that's listening, to purchase a snazzy CWC banner for any of the 32 teams that have qualified, whether they are still in the tournament or not. And all the proceeds for the Italian banner for this weekend only will go towards firing Quinton. So feel free to get that in.
I'd like some confirmation coming from someone a little bit higher in the order than yourself, Blue Knight, but I'll take your word for now. We see Italy, in fact, going for double time too. So Air 9 double time getting picked by Italy. And yeah, this is a hard map. It's Air 9 double time, right? Speed pick. Not a lot of players are comfortable on Air 9 double time, but we are in the latter sections of the tournament. Top 8. These are the 48 best players, or something like that, close to that, and all of them should be relatively confident on Air 9 double time. Unlucky W staying in, definitely performing. Once again, I want to quickly shout out that he's been performing up to a really high level at this. At the last 3 picks now, I can definitely see great things coming out from them on the double time too. Weimar making their appearance again, and joined are they by Henrik. And then on the Italian side, Arma, Kami, Sir Waffle, Team 79 staying in. Once again, Canada's tournament live on the line. A lot at stake. 2 minutes 52 before double time is added. So after double time is added, that translates to about 2 minutes, I believe, in length. 1 minute 54. Thank you, stream, for providing that as well. So 1 minute and 54, Air 10.3. That is Air 9's double time for you. The map itself is mapped by Auto Fanboy, one of our map poolers. Custom map made for this year's CWC. We haven't seen it get played quite often. I believe Indonesia picked it against China, was able to beat them on it as well. But not sure. And actually, France has picked it twice already as well. I think winning on it both of the times. Everyone approaching toward the comments are Waffle being the first to miss. And that's going to give an early advantage in favor of Canada. But Weimar ends up trading that one. That should stabilize things once again. These two teams are neck and neck, and they keep on trading misses, I do feel like. Lucky W, Utility double as Arma, and Cami Utility WS as well. Actually, it's going to sweetly advance in favor of Italy, in fact. So Waffle and Arma, double is coming for Italy, only one trade by Weimar. Unlucky W ends up missing as well, double trade coming in. Henrik first, Cami on the bottom side, but I think Italy has a small spinner advance or something. I'm not too certain how that is working out right now. But I think Canada needs one more miss coming out for Italy. That's a 1,000 score difference right now in favor of the Italians. They have a slight combo advance as well. Going into the last start of the map. Canada's tournament live on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Henrik doing all he can. Sir Waffle helping in that sense. Missing once again. No trades coming out of Canada just yet. Cami still on the FC. Weimar ends up trading. Cami ends up trading that one as well. So that's still 1 minute advance for Canada. Henrik still with the FC. Unlucky W still with a really high score as well. Arma countering that. Unlucky W is missing, but Sir Waffle trades it. Lost A of the map. All eyes on Henrik still holding on to the FC. There's so much to Canada right now, and this pick is backfiring for Italy. Only about a few seconds left, and they need at least a triplets coming out from Canada, and it's not coming. Like double trades once again with Sir Waffle, but Henrik, what a performance coming out from him in this double time too. And Canada get a oh my god, apologies, getting a 4th pick on the board due to a wonderful performance from Henrik with the FC. Sir Waffle's slightly struggling, in fact, and that is going to be Canada's first breakpoint, breaking Italy for the first time. It's their picks next. If they think this one through once again, we could be looking at a 6-5 scoreline, and this is getting a little bit more spicy. I think Italy's going to start shaking just a little bit. They had a really confident run up until now, but 6-2 scoreline turning into a 6-4 is not looking. It's switching the momentum. Let's put it that way.
It's gonna be really interesting to see, because seeing a Canadian break point, that's great to see. But Canada has also lost a few of their own picks, which could easily be the case with this next pick. As you said, all the comfortable picks are gone now. So it's going to be interesting to see how all these next points go.
Yeah, looking to see where Canada takes this for now. Their last pick actually of the match, because Italy gets one more pick and a potential tiebreak, and we see Nomad 1 getting picked. So that is another robot getting picked, and I think this is a perfect pick coming out of Canada. A Rockman map, and it's relatively similar to Nomad 2, a little bit more consistency testing. But I think the consistency department from Canada is just a bit more consistent than from Italy. Unlucky W, definitely staying in for from Canada on the top side, sitting quite comfortably on that side. Fury and Hendrik also coming in. Well, Hendrik staying in fact. And well, yeah, this is getting quite close, I would say. 3 picks left. Once again, Canada's to lose. Italy's to lose, rather. And this Canada's pick, but pressure does mount quite a lot in these type of really tight situations. Unlucky W, Fury and Hendrik trying to beat Arma, Kame, and Sir Waffle on Nomad 1. First 400 combo is relatively easy, and then after that it becomes wiggle heaven or hell, depending on how you feel on it. I've said it a bunch of times this weekend already, but a lot of people seem to like wheels a lot. There's also quite a lot of people that absolutely despise them, and I assume none of these players despise them. Otherwise, their teams wouldn't put them in here. Actually, in fact, though, Kame, Arma, and Sir Waffle do not have replacements, right, for them, so you might feel less happy with Wiggles, but I assume they should still be really, really confident. And we have a really long slider coming at around 280 combo, and it keeps on going, Luminite. That's about, I think, 200 combo slider. Here it is. Interesting to note that Hendrik does not actually does end up dashing with it now. Actually, that's a little tricky. I personally do dash when moving in the slider, but Hendrik feeling confident. There's one more slider coming about now, and then after that, Wiggle Heaven or Hell starts. There we go. Map's about 1,500 combo in total. So plenty of room for either team to find some misses. We saw Triple FC coming out of France, in fact, on this. And the Triple FC would definitely help Canada quite a lot, as you can imagine. No one giving an inch right now. The score is dead even. No drop loops, misses 6-way double S coming out of all of these players in such a tense situation. Beautiful performance, beautiful to withhold actually. Halfway mark has been hit. The map gets a little more difficult, but we see no misses coming out. And there's no spinner in this map either, so if we see a 6-way double S, we're gonna have to replay this one. That's obviously a big if. There's still a turret left, but imagine at this stage a replay, but we'll have to see. Actually, a droplet miss coming out from Sir Waffle, and that's the only difference maker right now between these two teams. 500 combo left, I do believe. No misses to be seen. I'm at the edge of my seat currently. Kame being the first to drop, and that's going to give the advance towards Canada. 1 minute advantage and a drop of advantage as well, keep that in mind. So one singular miss would not hurt Canada, I do believe, but will tie things up quite nicely.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end. This has been a crazy map. Wow. And Arma's gonna find a miss as well. That really might seal the deal here.
That has to be. And Terwalpa's missing as well. No full combos left on Italy. And look at Canada. Are they able to bring home the triple FC? Hendrik ends up dropping right at the end of the hard section. But that's still a beautiful double FC coming out of Canada. And alright, Luminite. We are going to a 6-5 situation. Lost pick coming out of Italy. But Canada making the reverse sweep. Looking, or at least the reverse comeback rather. Looking, well, reverse comeback is not a thing because always a comeback. The comeback, rather, looking kind of spicy. So one is
the
coming out of
reverse comeback being Italy coming from 6 points to 0 points. That's what that would be, losing points at that point.
Yeah, I think so as well. That was a little slip up from the tongue, which happens. But 6-5, and Italy to pick next though. So it's Italy's choice on which map they want to battle this one out. There's still no mod 4 left. There's still mixed mod 1 and mixed mod 3 left, and double time 3. But
I feel like we're gonna see mixed mod. That's my prediction. So well. Yeah, I feel like that's the best play for Italy to take a point.
Yeah. I think mixed mod 1. Mixed mod 3 is too niche of a skill set. I think Canada has an advantage on that. No mod 4 could also, but the thing is, Canada has won all no mod maps, so you want to go there, probably not. And then double time 3, that is a really difficult map, so it could be a solo carry or a double carry coming out from Kame and Arma, but Italy, Canada has been able to match those two quite a lot, so curious to see where Canada wants to take, and momentum on their side, right? They're coming back from the jaws of defeat. They were pretty much, the match was done and dusted, right, as they say, I do believe, and Canada just winning 3 maps on the spin. Italy just, yeah, trying to find some footing, and they go for double time 3, so no mixed mod, no mod 4, and I think this is a risky pick. I am not sure how either of these two teams are going to perform double time 3, but I think this is the hardest map in the pool, and I think that's a beautiful map to end this one on, or at least regular match on. It might go to a tiebreak, as you know what I mean. Canada to break Italy on this one to be the case.
I believe in Canada.
So do I. Especially in the Unlucky W. Has been performing out of his mind. Looking for that third player actually coming out from Canada. I think that has to be Wymir actually. I don't think we'll be seeing Katsuragi. I don't think we'll be seeing Fuyuhi. It might be Wadbot actually. We haven't seen Wadbot for quite a long time either, so
it's possible that the Canadian team has people practicing the tiebreaker right now, right?
I think that's very viable. And the thing is, the issue for Italy is these 3 players have to play the tiebreaker as well. They cannot practice it right now. So, well, yeah, I'm curious to see. And wait, is Katsuragi going to be playing this as their 3rd player?
It's looking like it.
I am... Alright, I am not sure how this one is going to pan out. I hope for Katsuragi and Ken, they know what they're doing. Does seem to be the case. No one choosing hidden with their double time. Aaron 8.9 comrade, which translates to 10.2, I believe. And it's 3 minutes in length, so plenty of room once again. No misses to be seen the first one on combo, but it gets harder after this first spinner, I believe, or the first Ki, in fact. nerves on these players are going to be quite high. In fact, I am already getting nervous myself just by looking at them play. Everyone getting 200 combo. Katsuragi seems to be quite confident on this double time too. And now the hardest part comes up, for one of the hardest parts. Katsuragi being the first up, Alex Doppler missing as well. So Waffle trading ones, but Arma and Kame holding on to combo. And Henrik matching them, but it's going to give the advantage towards Italy in the beginning section of this map. Kame has him dropping as well, and I think that miss from Katsuragi. Oh, so many misses happening right now, but 2 combos on the Canadian side, 1 combo on the Italian side. And that is favoring Canada. Quarters left, so still plenty of room. But I am currently at the end of my seat. I am getting nervous by just looking at this 20,000 score difference in favor of Canada. I think that's not even a miss separating these two teams right now. But Canada has the combo advantage, right? 2 people above 200 combos, so they're gonna build even more of a buffer. It's crucial for all players to hold combo in these slower sections. Katsuragi ends up dropping 1, so that's going to tie things up, I do believe. Might even switch back in favor of Italy. Henrik still with the FC. Arma still with the FC. No one giving an inch right now. He's going to switch back to Italy, in fact, so Canada needs 1 more miss coming out from Italy. Kame is going to provide that miss.
Yep. And so is Sir Waffle, but a double miss on Canada too.
Arma still with the FC right now, doing everything he can. Unlucky W trying to match it. Sir Waffle missing once again. This is so close, ladies and gentlemen. 1 turn left. 5,000 score difference. The combo advance in favor of Canada, but slightly. Sir Waffle dropping once again. Gonna switch that back into favor of Canada. Only a quarter left. Unlucky W. Definitely the most consistent player on the Canadian roster, doing everything he can right now, and Sir Waffle keeps on missing, gets right trading once, but that's still a 20,000 score difference in favor of Canada. But that's not even a miss. 1 miss from Canada, and it switches back right over to Italy. Arm is still with the FC right now, doing everything he can for his country. Ending session coming up right now. Sir Waffle dropping, gets right trading. Arma dropping, it's a loss I see gone, and 2 of Paul combos. Henrik trading once with Arma. Kame versus Unlucky W. Unlucky W doing everything he can for Canada. Gets right to bring one spin. Sir Waffle trading. We're getting into the very last section of this map, and I think that Canada has this one in the bag. Henrik still with combo. Unlucky W, 800 combo and counting, and doing so much for his country right now.
The revenge arc is alive! It's alive!
This is a beautiful performance coming out of Canada, and Sir Waffle just definitely struggling too much in this pick, and a 6-6 scoreline. We're going to the tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Canada come back from a 6-2 scoreline to get to a tiebreaker. Unlucky W, you have played this match brilliantly, and if your country wins or not, you're by far the MVP right now. That is absolutely insane. 1 miss coming from Unlucky W, 2 miss coming from Arma, actually. Unlucky W beating Arma, even though Arma held final for combos for so long. 6-6 scoreline. That is absolutely insane. And Canada has experience on the tiebreaker as well, playing it last week against US. As we all know, Wadbot had the Bosky incident. I sincerely hope for Canada that something like that does not happen again. But that might be playing in the back of their minds, right? We have to keep that in mind. But I mean, what is there more beautiful than the fact that both of these 7th to 8th place finishers will have placed there due to a tiebreaker? Because France and Chile played on a tiebreaker, and now Italy and Canada playing on a tiebreaker as well. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm curious to see who the 3rd player is going to be for Canada, but I think it's going to be Fury. And Canada has won all no-mod picks, so that does seem to favor Canada. And the fact that Unlucky W is playing out of his mind right now, I assume at least a beautiful force coming out from him. Henrik as well, the 2 of them definitely stepping up for Canada when they need him. And oh baby, oh well. About the map, it's custom made by Bunbury and Ascendants. I think 2 of the Cat's most famous mappers, and it's a sequel to a ranked set they made a lot of years ago. I think that's already 5 or 6 years ago by now. This one's the extended version. About the map itself, it is very long build-up. I think the build is about 1,500 combo, and then it just gets really, 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 really spicy. A lot of wiggles, which I think favors Canada, given how they won on Nomad 2 and Nomad 1. And Few comes in for Canada, and Unlucky W, Henrik and Few are going to try to win that 5th point. So, on the spin, to deny Italy their 5th match point, and Italy has not been able to convert 4 match points in a row. Are they able to convert the 5th one? I am not sure. Currently, I think Canada is heavily favored because they have all the momentum on their side, right?
You know, I'm really hoping so. All my energy is with Canada right now. I believe in the revenge arc for both Belgium and Mexico.
Bunnery did not map Evanescent #1. My apologies, Hyperion. I did not mean that. I know it's only a sentence map, but I meant to say that the map is a sequel, not the mapper. Just want to clearly get that out of the way before we get into the tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes and 50 of Osu Cats. And the loser of this map will be knocked out of the tournament. It all boils down to this, right? 12 maps played, back and forth the entire way. Canada winning 4 picks in a row, Italy having a huge advantage in the beginning of this match. It all comes down to these 6 players trying to bring it home for the country. A top 6 finish and a matchup versus, I believe, Indonesia, in fact. So not easy matchup, but that they should not worry about that by now. They should just focus on this map. Italy winning that spinner slightly, but if this comes down to a spinner battle, I would be heavily amazed. Yeah, not much coming about. No one missing even a droplet. Quite comparable to that Nomad 1 performance. And comparable to Nomad 1 as well is the fact that this this beginning section is also relatively easy. Relatively, subjectively. And I think it's harder than that Nomad 1 section though. But it definitely does pick up at the end. And Sir Waffle being the first to drop actually at 600 combo is going to give Canada a 1 miss buffer. If you are an Italy supporter, your team needs all your energy right now. If you're a Canada supporter, I think they have all the energy they need and all the momentum, but they do give it anyway. Map is 3,400 or 500 combo in length, so only approaching the quarter mark right now. And Sir Waffle dropping once again might be crumbling a little bit under the pressure. That's going to favor Canada. None of them trading any of those 2 misses, so it's a 2 miss buffer for Canada. All 5 players, except for Sir Waffle, getting up to the 4-digit combo mark, and the rough section is coming up in about 500 combo from uptake, but Canada is dropping as well. Okay, Henrik ends up trading one of those misses. That is still heavy favoring Canada. 2 miss buffer for them. That was slower section once again. Arma still the lone FC on the Italian side. Fury and Unlucky W matching that. Fury ends up dropping some accuracy, but that should not matter either. I think the difference in scores is about 30,000 points. That might be less than a miss because Henrik missed quite a few notes. Looking at his accuracy as well, 99.55. As you can feel, the hardest section is coming up. Here we go. I do expect to see some misses here, I do believe. Arma being the first to fall from the Italians. Triple miss coming from Italy and no trades coming from Canada. This is absolutely huge for them. Unlucky W being the first to drop on them. Henrik and Fury doing everything they can. Fury and double miss coming from Canada. Only Fury right now with any combo. Arma dropping once more, and that is, I think, a 3 miss advantage still for Canada. 40,000 points. The turret left, and Italy can see that they're behind, right? For the first time in this match, I do believe that they are behind. And that is not something they want. Full combos, no full combos left for them. Henrik and Unlucky W approaching 200 combo, and I think the score difference is about 40 to 50,000 points. 2 or 3 misses separating these 2 teams right now. Fury approaching 2,000 combo. And counting. Beautiful performance coming out from him right now. Cami ends up dropping once again, further increasing that gap in favor of Canada in a slower section, really build-up section. Unlucky W, Henrik getting about 500 combo again, not trading any of those misses. Arma and Sir Waffle also well above 200. Arma ends up dropping, Sir Waffle still holding on. The only one holding on for Italy, and no trades coming out of Canada. Arma missing once again. This is their tournament lies on the line, 60,000 points and counting in the difference right now. Few still holding on to the FC. Unlucky W and Henrik above 700 combo. Are they doing it for Canada right now? Italy, are they gonna falter after they threw away 4 match points. Is this where it comes down to? Last quarter of the map, ladies and gentlemen. Cammy ends up dropping right after the break. That is not what they want. No trades coming out of Canada, and they seem oh so consistent on Nomad. Sir Waffle doing FD, can approaching 1000 combo. Arma on a 2 miss right now, I do believe. Not a bad performance. Sir Waffle ends up dropping. Fury still onto the FC right now. No misses coming out from Canada. Waffle dropping once again, and this is getting out of hand. Canada missing once again. Nurse getting to Italy. Are they going to fall into the 7 to 8 slot? Only an 8 left of this map, and Canada is just looking so good. Hendrik finally dropping, but Unlucky W and Fury have his back right now. Is Fury going to be able to bring home the FC even? Hendrik dropping once again. That's a 100,000 score difference in favor of Italy. In favor of Canada, right? My apologies. Cammy ends up dropping once again, but that should not matter in the end. I think Canada have done. Double is coming from Italy. Sir Waffle, the MVP, actually the second player in this team. Cammy is slightly struggling, but Fury, 3,000 combo and counting, and I think he will be bringing home the FC. And Canada have pulled out the biggest comeback that I have ever seen on this stage. I am absolutely amazed right now. This is a beautiful performance coming out from Fury with the FC, and Canada come back from a 6-2 scoreline and beat Italy 7-6. And Italy, that is heartbreaking for them. But oh my goodness.
Italy out of the tournament, placing 7th, 8th, like you said. Canada coming back, a huge comeback for the Canadians, and a nice revenge arc for me, hopefully for you too. As much as we love the Italians, friendly competition, but congratulations to the Canadians, congratulations to the Italians as well. They were fantastic performances on all 13 maps that were played today, and it was just absolutely amazing to see all of those players at such a high level.
Definitely. I want to congratulate Italy on their performance this year. I think they'll be heartbroken after how this match went, losing 5 picks on the spin at the end, but they can take away so much from this year, and finishing 7 to 8 is definitely not a bad finish. I know they hoped for way more, but sadly Canada just got in the way, and Canada, honestly, Unlucky W played brilliantly, Hendrik played brilliantly, Fury coming in for that tiebreaker, seeing it brilliantly, Katsuragi on double time 3, I think that was a fill, right? I don't think Canada really a third player there, but he was able to hold his own, beat Sir Waffle, and help Canada get into the top 6 for the 2nd year in a row. So Canada does end up beating Italy, in fact. And here you see a winner bracket. In fact, Korea and China will be facing off in the winners bracket finals next weekend after both beating Indonesia and USA 7-4. But then the loser bracket, this was really spicy this weekend. Chile, France ending up being a 7-6 favor of France, and then Canada, Italy also being a 7-6. And I'm still completely flabbergasted right now. I have no words for this performance. Absolutely insane. And Italy's loser bracket run sadly ending at the North American opponent being Canada, and that is, well, your top 6 is known now. Canada, Indonesia, USA, France are going to be fighting for that last top 3 spot next weekend, and then China and South Korea, your 2 powerhouses on that spot as well. And wow, I mean, Luminite, we've witnessed a little bit of history today, I think. This is a match that a lot of people are going to talk about in the remainder of this weekend, this CWC, and the upcoming years as well. What a beautiful performance once again coming out from Canada. And well, yeah, that concludes the semifinals for this 2022 Oscar World Cup. We know our top 6. We know which 24 countries have now been eliminated. We'll be losing 3 more next weekend as well, which will be happening on a more difficult pool, and this difficult pool showcase will be happening about, I believe, 10 to 15 minutes from now. We're going to take a quick break, and then I believe JBI Parent is finally going to make his appearance on here. Glad I could cover in for him, because Well, as I said, we witnessed history today, and then www is going to join him, I do believe, for the Maple Showcase. A Canadian Maple is probably going to be out of his mind as well, given how his boys were able to bring it home. Illuminates, was a pleasure casting this one with you, and well, yeah, I'm completely amazed. I'm going to stay amazed for the rest of the evening, I do believe. Everyone, have a good evening. My name is Quinn. I was here with Luminites, and we'd like to thank you for watching. And do tune in for the finals Maple Showcase in about 10 minutes from now. Alright then. See you later, everyone.
Okay, hello everyone, nice to see you all. It's Catch World Cup 2022 Finals Map Pool Showcase time. I'm JB Hyperion, joined once again by our Map Pool selector 5Ws. I bet you're a bit excited about Canada's recent performance. That'll come back, got you excited, got you hyped?
You have no idea. The performance of Unlucky actually bringing it all the way back to TV.
Okay, so thanks everyone for sticking around. We'll be bringing you another 4 no mod, 3 hidden, 3 hard rock, 4 double time, 3 mixed mod, and 1 tiebreaker map for the finals showcase. Once again, finals and grand finals all best of 13, so same as this round, first to 7 points wins. And it's going to be a very similar format to previous weeks in that we'll have lots of custom maps in the specific slots, and then roughly half of the maps will be converted OS difficulties, and of course they won't be customs because a lot of them are created way before. And we've got an exciting tiebreaker as well. So before we get to that, we'll just start off where we always start with no mod, and we'll start off with no mod 1, Orange Gentle's Hopes and Dreams, a newer new home as opposed to just a regular new home, by Bunray. Bunray, a huge Undertale fan, to anyone who's been following their mapping over the many years they've been involved in the game. This is 4 minutes in Dream, 4 minutes in length, 146 BPM, circle size of 4.7, and an approach rate of 9.7.
The map itself being, as you can hear, a more jazzy style, kind of being an interesting consistency pick, with the spacing not being the most conventional. Having these spacings that can easily trip you up if you're not paying attention. Definitely a map that can cause you to miss quite a few times if you're kind of tuned out or playing it mindlessly. definitely one to practice and get used to the unique spacing included in this map.
It's been a little while since we've had a real saxophone banger in the CWC pool, at least as far as I can remember, so I'm loving this already. I should mention that usually I have lots of map pool notes and feedback prepared on the CWC pools, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to do that this week. It was my birthday last week and obviously Father's Day today, and I am a father now, so unfortunately I had to spend a little bit of time with the family. Oh my god, I know, family, whoa. So please do forgive me. I'm going to be kind of like reacting to the map pool and giving my thoughts on what I haven't seen and saying a little bit about the things that I did get to see whilst testing last week.
Oh, happy belated birthday and happy Father's Day today.
I'm liking a lot of these little kind of kicking anti-flow stairs.
Yeah, the map itself stays very, very consistent with the song as well. The spacing still staying similar to each other, despite the extra notes that might get added for density. There's not too much that comes off as really different. So definitely the picture of a no mod consistency pick.
We got a nice chill piano section in here as well. Just what you need to build nerves in a 4-minute long finals map pool.
Maybe something that could have been used considering the last match. I can't express how happy that all of you finally get to see this map and song. I've been cat jamming for a literal week now, waiting for this reveal. Very, very happy for it.
So I don't know if we ever really mentioned like the custom mapping process, and we've got a little bit of time while we're waiting here. Really, the mappers are almost exclusively given like a type of brief for a map for a slot, so like approach rate 8 or swing style or over 250 BPM. And a lot of the freedom for choosing songs is down to the mappers themselves, which is really good because we have a very diverse range of mappers that like and enjoy different things, so it's not just like all kind of electronic music or all like J-pop, for example. There's a lot of varieties. So if 4 minutes of jazz is a little bit too much for you, firstly, what are you doing? Jazz is awesome. But seriously, Tonari no niwa wa aoi, niwashi and aoi, Explore, XB tenor, not quite sure what the translation there is, but Greeper is going to be bringing you No Mod 2. This one is the exact opposite in that it's a lot shorter, at just under 2 minutes in length, but is a lot quicker, 200 BPM. Same approach rate of 9.7, but a little bit more lenient circle size of 4.3.
Yeah, like Mr. JBH has said, this map is definitely a foil to No Mod 1, being a lot more clean in terms of spacing, having it be more orthodox while being technical as well, being more dense and having more wiggles involved in and of itself in the map.
Yeah, some of those anti-flowing triples, 200 BPM, 1/4, look really, really tricky.
Now the map itself is pretty diverse in terms of patterning with a main tap and wiggle test coming into the last part here as the spacing does increase for the final streams, including the stairs.
Well, it really doesn't slow down for even a second, wow. So, 2 specifics, 2 customs down, moving on to our converted difficulties. IME's Countdown, mapped by LFJ, is going to be our Nomod 3. This map is a approach rate of 9.8, a little bit higher than the 2 specifics we've seen, but a very conventional circle size of 4. A BPM of 230, and a length of 3 minutes and 42 seconds. This one from September of 2020, if you're kind of keeping track of converts of different eras.
The map itself is somewhat self-explanatory, being jumpy, convert test, while also remaining consistent, throwing a lot of these jumps at you. Primarily hyper jumps like those, but also quite a few edge dash spacings. So plenty of things that can get you tripped up and will benefit those that play a lot of converts and are very familiar with edge spacing, as this map specifically includes a lot of those.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of maps in this style filling the Nomod 3 convert slot throughout the tournament, focused like largely on half jumps, and they become steadily faster, steadily more frequently combining dashes with hyper dashes and some edge jumps, as you obviously said. And the higher the BPM goes, the more tight that they become, and the more kind of reading anticipation or memory you need to know in advance for where these jumps have to be caught on the edge of the plate in order to make the next notes. And at nearly 4 minutes in length, there are more and more times where you need to remember where these jumps are, what comes before them, what comes after them. It's not quite as easy as just memorizing that it's at 1200 combo or it's at 1/3 distance, because the maps are getting so much harder, you may not even get to like be at 1200 combo, so you need to have some kind of mental reference point for where this jump is, or what part of the song it's in, what pattern immediately comes before it, for example.
That actually kind of leads into the purpose of this pick, having it really hard to keep mental tabs on something this long when there's so many frequent jumps here. Definitely here to display a difficulty increase from last round.
Very short calm section towards the end here that builds right back into another PI, coming into the final kind of 20 seconds of the map. Some slightly wonky looking streams where direction change is pretty sharp with dashes, but again, mostly kind of the key point there is of course the 1/2 jumps that are pretty much just prevalent throughout the entire map. Okay, so our final no-mod map for the finals pool this year is going to be from Vercato, Waltz number 17 in G minor, Waltz of the Big Dogs. This is an unranked standard map from January 2018. It features a circle size of 4 and an approach rate of 9.8, once again very similar to the one we've previously seen. A length a little over 2 minutes, and a variable BPM that scales between 230 and almost 400.
Having played this map, I can't really say I've played another convert like this one, it has a lot of sharp spacings, even compared to the jump map. Things that seem to warp you over to the next fruit. Despite it being such a high AR, you're going to see a lot of dense streams in this map to emphasize that piano. Things that can definitely trip you up. This convert seems to have a little bit of everything involved, having wiggles, very dense snaps, and also very sharp distances as well.
I was just going to say, that's a very long break, and then a fairly kind of trivial section right after it for a song this short. So it actually, I guess, feels, or at least the challenging part, is a lot shorter even than the 2-minute kind of current drain time suggests. But those are some really, really snappy hyperdashes there. I'm fairly sure you could hyperwalk those if, like, everything that came after it wasn't requiring a lot more attention and focus.
Yeah, in this part especially, you get to see some of that snappier spacing kind of combined with the wiggles that come in right here.
Those wiggles
Definitely.
look so wide, wow.
They really are. This map throws a lot at you. It would be very impressive to see FCs here, considering how much the map throws at you. Definitely more of a skill check map.
So, as always, Hidden is our next mod pool, and there'll be 2 custom specifics. The first up of those is Zai's Parousia by Dave. 2 minutes and 10 seconds in length, 158 BPM, and a lovely combo of circle size 5, approach rate 8.5, which is going to make Hidden reading a little bit more of a challenge, and of course require a little bit more precision than a lot of the things we've seen previously.
Yeah, as you're about to see with this map, it definitely checks its hidden reading in terms of density, with its stacking being essentially pretty harsh and will definitely benefit those that can read Hidden, even if you can play this no mod. As there have been some maps that have been displayed that even if you're not the best Hidden player, you can be capable of holding your own. This is definitely a foil to that, testing both reading and mechanics to a pretty intense degree.
The really dense kind of breakdown section that we saw just before this calm part looked kind of spooky with how dense it was, but I think maybe it's a little difficult to say with Hidden, but it looked like it generally flowed relatively well.
The flow is good with this map. It probably looks more rough due to the stream. There is definitely some sharp snaps included that cannot be looked over, but the map itself does flow really well. Just definitely very difficult to read.
For Hidden 2, Bunrae making their second appearance with an entirely unmentionable number. Absolutely not something that we have seen many times, far too often in
When you almost see it.
recently. When you almost see it, indeed. I've already been pulled up for when you see it in a Twitch clip so far this CWC, and we're not about to go there again. We're not Taiko, although this is an Inner Oni custom name, so have fun distinguishing that one. This one's slightly shorter at 1 minute and 54 seconds in length, but a lot faster at 260 BPM. Circle size of 4.2 is a little bit more comfy for non-precise reading, and the approach rate of 9.8 is much faster. So this is feeling vastly different from Hidden 1 already.
Similar to No Mod 1 and No Mod 2, this map is definitely a foil to Hidden 1, having more common statistics, being a skill check map for sure, not really requiring reading the play. However, if you are not used to high AR Hidden, this can definitely come off as really fast because of the BPM and AR.
Yeah, with how high the density and the approach rate is here, you're almost like seeing each individual object for such a small amount of time.
No matter what part of the map you are in, it definitely does not slow down for a second, no matter what.
Cranky's Bestrafung is going to be our hidden 3, and of course the one convert from the hidden pool this time around is 3 minutes and 30 seconds in length, 180 BPM, also circle size 4.2, but as you can tell, definitely not approach rate 9.8, in fact, just 8.
Definitely one of those converts that provides unique spacing, all of those jumps basically being different in length but being far almost every single time. A pretty basic hidden jump test while having these streams to build up combo definitely can be punishing if you miss one of these jumps.
I felt like this was an interesting pick for a number of reasons, but primarily the fact that it was updated 2 weeks ago as a convert. Kind of typically we've kind of shied away from that in the past because people in other game modes rightly kind of have their own game mode to worry about and are maybe a bit less concerned about the needs and wants of us humble fruit mappers. But obviously there's hopefully been some dispensation, some discussion with the mapper Icecalt in saying, please don't update your map, we would like to use it for Catch World Cup. So hopefully this map stays exactly like it is for the reasons that you picked it. I don't know, was there any discussion with the mapper that you know of?
There was.
Okay, that's good.
Fluorite did go through the process and they did agree to not having update this for the sake of CWC. Definitely very generous of them. Shout out to Ice.
Big respect. Yeah, generally when kind of pending or graveyarded maps of any kind are used, but especially converted OS difficulties, they're taken from like a long time ago where it's fairly obvious that a mapper is not going to be kind of just whipping them back up out of the graveyard and updating them midway through while they're being practiced for the tournament. But it is great that we have the communication between the map poolers and obviously the mappers, even outside of the game mode, to be able to use these kind of things.
The map itself also having this spike in the about last quarter where it combines multiple kind of interesting spacing jumps, while in the earlier halves there's usually 1 to 2 you have to deal with. This kind of adds those chains of them, as you can see, from a hyper into sort of these very far dashes that can be difficult to read with the AR8 hidden.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that was a kind of strong dash into an edge dash without a direction change, which is a truly evil pattern. Especially more so with AR8 hidden. But hey, it's finals. What are you going to do about it?
Hashtag map pool feedback.
So, Hard Rock next, and once again, 3 picks, 2 specifics and 1 convert. This is our only non-custom map from the finals pool this year. Is Gripa's rendition of Meganeku's Feral. Meganeku, one of our featured artists, and Feral, an absolute banger that I strongly considered when Meganeku became a featured artist back in, I think, 20. This one, 3 minutes and 9 seconds in length, 160 BPM. Circle size of, I think, 4.1 becomes 5.46 with Hard Rock, or around that point. And of course, approach rate of 10, you're going to be seeing that on pretty much all of the maps this round for obvious reasons, as you have done in previous ones.
The song itself being 3 minutes, Hard Rock does apply a lot of distortions, especially to these streams, as you can see. Some are more slight than others, but the streams especially require you to be a bit more precise than perhaps some of the Hard Rocks of last round. That definitely had more conventional spacing and not as much Hard Rock distortion. This map can be seen as more punishing in that regard.
So apparently Meganeko was released as a featured artist in March 2020, so just got terrible memory. All these years are blurring into one. Such a tragedy being on. This was originally mapped in January of 2021, was kind of left wanting in the graveyard for a long time, but has recently been revived, presumably. Maybe had something to do with CWC, that it's being kind of bumped up back into pending now, but maybe there was some progress being made on it before then as well. As with kind of all of the custom maps from CWC, we'd love to try and see spreads of them being made so they can be pushed into rank in a as close to intended form as they appear in CWC, so that's really good to see as well. So there's Hard Rock 1. Hard Rock 2, back to the customs from Jamie Christopherson. The Stains of Time Maniac Agenda mix, and it will come. We are told this by Verti, who's the mapper, very much. What it is, we may never know, but it will come. 2 minutes and 5 seconds in length, 200 BPM, same circle size of 5.46, and again, approach rate of 10.
Considering there was Verti Hard Rock of last round, based off of feedback, it was definitely encouraged to have more rough Hard Rock distortions, especially coming into these harder difficulties. So with Verti mapping the slot again, that was something that was definitely encouraged to kind of have. And you can continue to see kind of interesting spaced notes as they are generated into being Hard Rock patterns.
Do you think Senator Armstrong would approve of the work you've been doing as map pool selectors here? Are you part of his new world order?
Perhaps. You know, I think we get along. I think we can go for coffee a few times, maybe.
You think you could vibe with Senator Armstrong?
I really do. I vibe with everybody.
Would you have vibed with Italy? They've beaten Canada.
Almost everybody.
Almost everybody. Okay, so one hard rock remaining, and as before, it's going to be a converted OS difficulty. Violet Rose from Oster Project is our hard rock 3 from July of 2020. This is one of the shortest picks in the pool, in all of the pools in CWC this year, at 1 minute and 50 seconds in length. Circle size of 6.24, I'm going to guess is about 5.8. 4.8 converted to hard rock. A BPM of 150.
Yeah, usually it's nice to have picks that are a bit longer, though with this one in particular, it definitely still does its job despite being shorter. Having a lot of interesting hard rock jumps that can trip you up with these. Being a pick that can go by in essentially a moment. Definitely one that can be felt out before the match on if you are hitting these jumps or not. Can definitely catch teams off guard if used correctly.
The kind of streamed tap dash into sliders in one direction is a very kind of classic convert jump pattern. It looks so much more terrifying on like circle size 6.2 than it does normally. A lot of the times with like bigger circles you could just kind of hold dash through those patterns, but you really do have to tap here, which looks like it could be potentially a little bit more punishing than it would be normally.
For sure.
So double time next, and as we've said previously, because mixed mod exists and it has hidden and hard rock in it, double time will have 4 selections, 2 specifics which are both customs and 2 converts. First of these specifics and customs is Kinema 106's Shinchoku Do Desho. This is from Shoni, who is not a mapper who has appeared that much in the CWC this year, but has been behind the scenes as a map pool QA, along with myself and many others, diligently working to try and get these maps into the best possible shape they can be, ready for CWC. This is 2.5 minutes in length, 279 BPM, but it does have a speed up section at about, I think, 2/3 distance, where it peaks at about 360 BPM with some 1/4 streams, which are really quite spicy. Circle size of 4.2 and approach rate of 9.2 with double time goes up to a little under 10.5, so really, really fast.
For sure. Based off of feedback from previous World Tournaments, this is a World Tournament first, actually having AR 9.2 double time in finals. Something that has been requested for a long time as players have generally gotten better at the game, and reading in particular. Definitely viable now more than ever to have this higher AR double time as an option, and I'm excited to see which teams pick it and prove how capable they are of reading AR this high.
Yeah, in some senses this reminds me a lot of Longshot, the double time one from I think it was quarterfinals, where approach rate 9 double time was introduced really early. In that it's not the most kind of complex in terms of density or like rhythm choice or flow, but it's a nice introduction to these kind of much higher approach rates that we haven't seen before, and the addition of this build-up in BPM here gets really, really quite spicy up to that 360 BPM that I talked about. So it's not quite like a long shot map in that if you can read 9.2 then you'll find it trivially easy. It does still have some kind of trickier patterns and some nice anti-flow mixed in to kind of challenge players of all double time skill levels in the left in the World Cup, of course. So I think I will leave this one to my good colleague 5W to talk about, since there is some advantage to being a map pool selector, and that's if you're a budding mapper and you decide that you want to map something, then there's a whole host of people that are just dying to give you their feedback and tell you what your map should be. So this is Froome's Wave Tapper, 1 minute and 45 seconds in length, 168 BPM even with double time applied, circle size of 4 and an approach rate of 8.5, becoming a nice round 10.
For sure, I decided to follow the kind of common theme by making this map as a foil to DT1, having that map be the more conventional high AR double time pick. This map having a bit more unconventional spacing by having the FSV be what it is, and a very wiggle eccentric map having a lot of this involved. And like you said, I've gotten a lot of modding done on this map, as I did get a bit out of hand with some unconventional spacing, and people like JBH helped me.
We had to rein him in.
Yeah.
But no, I think the end product has kind of come out really, really nicely. This was like super fun to play. I said I didn't kind of get a chance to see a lot of the maps in this round, but this was one of the ones, along with DT1 that we just saw, that I managed to get some pretty extensive feedback in. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully everyone enjoys it a little bit more for it. So yeah, approach rate 10, incredibly dense and wiggly is going to be our double time 2 pick this time around. Double time 3, any Toroberu fans thereabouts, Toyosaki Aki's More and More from Fight Show. This is the oldest map in the pool, I think by quite a considerable margin, from December 2013. Is 2 minutes and 19 seconds in length, 278 BPM. A circle size of 3.8 is a little bit more... Oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Circle size of 4, but an approach rate of 9, so that's 10.3 when double.
Once again, more anime in the map pool, because who doesn't like anime, you know? Cute background. And the map itself definitely being the jumpy DT test. Maybe not as crazy as last week's DT3, as that map definitely stood out. But this one definitely being fast with its jumps, providing something unique to the pool.
So for everyone who likes to keep track of best scores on maps as we get into these more difficult maps, and everyone's like, oh, a map that's never been FC'd with this mod. This has not been FC'd with double time in ranked yet, although I think we may see some progress on that front as the week progresses. Alostis, long-time French player, is the highest score on this with double time with a 2 miss from 4 years ago. So everyone's still left in the tournament, and some people fancying double time who may have been eliminated and want to keep up with everything that's going on. Maybe let's try and update that score.
Now that guitar solo especially going to be a good place to build up combo. May not even be a miss, but missing before it will definitely be extremely punishing. It's definitely a map you cannot let up on.
Echo once again refusing to give us intel on optimal spin routes.
Very smart, very smart.
Capsules RGB is going to be our fourth and final double time pick. This one from September of 2021 is 2 minutes and 20 seconds in length, 278 BPM with double time, just a touch faster than double time 3. Circle size of 3.8, you can see now where I was reading when I got confused, is going to be a little bit more lenient, but not too much more so than all the rest of the double time pool. And we're back to approach rate 8.5, so back again to approach rate 10 once double time has been uploaded.
This map in particular being the more control test, not having to emphasize as much on reading, considering the other convert is AR9. Definitely one that focuses more on spacing and such. Having a lot of jumps that are more tight, more so than DT1 with double time. Having a lot of these stacks to build up combo easily. I'm very eager to wonder what teams are going to be picking this map this week. Because considering this week's double time pool, not only introducing 9.2, but having all these options, I wonder what teams are going to go for this map in particular.
Yeah, quite a few wiggles and tap dashes being thrown in here, but a lot of the difficulty seems to come from just these wide half jumps combined with hyper dashes. You saw one there that was half jump to 1-1 hyper dash to another 1-1 hyper dash back into a half pattern again, which is really quite tricky to read at this kind of BPM when you have the added kind of fluidity of the catcher with double time. So easy to overshoot one of those patterns and just miss everything that follows. Mix mod is our final mod pool for this finals map pool showcase, and we're going to have 2 custom specifics and again 1 convert to fill in the mix mod 3 slot. Hyun Feet CPS Cross Soul is going to be our first mix mod 1. And this one is from Souvenir, who is a mapper that we saw in the very beginning of this year's CWC, part of the round of 32 tiebreaker, along with Yumeno Himiko, Fluorite, and Auto Fanboy. This is a solo effort from Souvenir, is 2.5 minutes in length, 200 BPM, has a circle size of 4.3, which becomes 5.6 when Hard Rock is applied, which of course one of our mixed mod players on each team is going to have to choose, and an approach rate of 9.5, which is going to be the same with Hidden. It's going to be relatively readable, but some of these tight snaps are, I think, going to cause quite a bit of problem with Hidden, because you really have such a small timing window to be able to actually catch them, and making that readable with Hidden is going to be pretty tricky.
For sure. Things like that are definitely what make this the mixed mod pick of the round, testing the Hidden. And I know for Hard Rock these spacings definitely get changed quite a bit, so there's a lot to look out for with this one being a very skill checked mixed mod map.
That was a cool slider, by the way. Wow, there's actually so many of those. I thought that was like a one-off, like funky hyper slider, but there's like loads of them actually. We saw some sliders like kind of like this back in earlier rounds. Think back to Miam's Peer Gint in one of the, I think that was round of 32. But now they've got like so many more direction changes. Like almost every big slider tick has a hyper on it. It's just... Mixed Mod 2 is going to come courtesy of one of the people I just mentioned, FD Fluorite, the lead from our map pool selection team. The Nani Sound Team setup, Ypsilon. This is 2 minutes in length, 160 BPM. Has an approach rate of 9, which is of course going to become 10 with Hard Rock, but stays as it is as hidden. And a circle size of 4.9 is going to get elevated to nearly 6.4 once Hard Rock has been applied. And since it's a Fluorite map, you know there's going to be a decent amount of wiggling involved.
Yeah, this map providing a bit more difficult reading with it being AR9, while Mixed Mod 1 was skill check, higher AR, having these kind of dense snaps, while this Fluorite map is more dense in and of itself, even with basic patterning. Definitely will be a bit more lenient with the no mod player. But with the other mods, it definitely spikes up quite a bit.
Yeah, the density, the wiggling, the odd spacing, providing all very interesting challenges for hidden reading. The Hard Rock difficulty is almost certainly going to come from just the sheer reduction in fruit size. That CS of 6.2, I guess, or was it 6.4? 6.4 nearly with Hard Rock is just going to require so much precision over the 2-minute throwing length.
Of course, the classic kind of ending spike before finishing off the map. Definitely trip up a few players.
Mixed Mod 3, as I said, a converted difficulty from standard. Aetherrealm's Swamp Witch. This one was ranked very recently, actually, only 2 months ago, courtesy of I Am Tick Rate. 4 minutes and 34 seconds in length is the longest map in the pool of this finals map pool, except for the tiebreaker, which of course we'll get to next. Get your guesses in, by the way, since this is a long one, you have plenty of time. BPM of 210. Circle size of 4.5, which is going to become, I want to say, 5.8 or thereabouts, 5.9 perhaps, with Hard Rock being applied, and an approach rate of 9.7.
This map being very unique with Hard Rock is Hard Rock distorts these streams. This can be a kind of convert skill check, as there are quite a few kind of sharp jumpy parts while also a lot of streams. And it's not really difficult to read with hidden, but definitely the higher AR consistency check of the mixed mod pool.
Yeah, it seems to be a nice balance of streaming patterns, like the one that you can see now, with some tap dashes, some wiggles, some anti-flow changes, but also in the calmer parts, a lot of good emphasis on half jumping as well, with some dashes combined with hyper dashes, which will be an interesting hidden reading test. I'm pleased to have some more metal in COEC map pools, but I'm also pleased that it's not necessarily just like a 4-minute death stream showcase.
For sure, having more metal in the map pool is definitely Fugi Bog.
A little switch to a 1/3 rhythm there. Didn't look too spicy, so hopefully that won't catch too many people out in terms of dashing away too early, thinking it was maybe a 1/4 rhythm. You can see a couple of these really big half jumps that we were talking about just a second ago being thrown in before this Ki guitar stream section. There's some pretty punishing 1/4 tap dashes in here as well, to be fair. And with the density, it must be very easy to kind of undershoot something slightly and then miss a huge stack of notes.
Yeah, the map itself remains very consistent. There are some streams where the spacing ends up spiking a little bit, and I wish it could show you what this map looks like with Hard Rock. Definitely make things spicy, and I think with a map this consistent, it definitely does benefit teams with the stronger Hard Rock player.
So, finals tiebreaker time. This will be our penultimate tiebreaker. Of course, grand finals will have a different map pool. So, yeah, this is going to be our tiebreaker for the 2022 Catch World Cup finals. This is Tuyu and DJ Raise's ADHD from Gemzu and Rusty, a Philippine combo again. And although I said I didn't get a chance to see a lot of the map pool apart from the double time specifics, I did see a little bit more of this map pool. I contributed some hit sounds to it, and I got a chance to have a look through the map as it was being developed and modded. I'm honestly just really excited for everyone to see this because it's like an absolutely fantastic piece of work. It feels in some ways very similar to Evanescent from the round before, except I feel like there are far fewer calm periods, so there's a lot more opportunity for Gemzu and Rusty to develop and showcase like their more kind of technical mapping style that we've seen in a lot of the No Mod 2s specifically, and Rusty again we saw mapping No Mod 1 from the qualifiers, if you can remember that far back. This is 5 minutes and 16 seconds long, a BPM of 200, circle size of 4.3, and an approach rate of 9.8. So here is, as I said, one of the only kind of calmer parts, but it doesn't necessarily last all that long. We have a very rapid BPM build-up section here, back into some very dense streams, lots of anti-flow as we can tell.
And the map itself having a lot of dense sort of stacking, as Evanescence was somewhat restricted by difficulty because of semifinals. This map not having to deal with that restriction because it's finals, being able to unleash a lot more gimmicks and such with wiggles, stacks, and really cool looking sliders.
Big props to Rusty for doing the replay of this as well. He was so adamant that he would get a great score to showcase on stream, and there was a substantial amount of grinding involved, back and forth of is this score better than that score, or is this combo better than that combo. But ultimately I think he's done a great job, and his performance is very representative. It does a very good showcase of the map's exciting parts, but also its difficulty as well. You see how quickly building back up into a really, really dense technical section with hyper sliders, with like huge densities, there's some 1/8, some 1/6 thrown in there as well, and so many direction changes and tap dashes, hypers packed into such a small time span over and over again. The amount of anti-flow being used in some of these kind of more intense sections that we've just gone past, they're quite extended Ki sections really, so you have like so much time where you're kind of dashing into and from hypers into immediately snappy direction changes, so there's so much finger control and flat bladder control required to maintain combo throughout a lot of these more technical sections. And that's even before you take into account the high slider velocities with the hyper sliders, the kind of strong regular dashes that can catch you out if you're kind of just always being set to correct speed for hypers that puts you where you need to go. There's really some wacky sliders being thrown in here, some very high snap hypers as well.
Yeah, the song itself being relatively consistent, still very hyped throughout, not as much as a difficulty spike as last week's tiebreaker. Definitely allowing for a general skill check overall because of how consistent it is.
There are certainly far fewer rest periods, although this is, as I said, one of the fewer ones as we get towards the end here. Whereas Evanescent offered at least some kind of calm periods where players could like recover and rest a little bit. There are almost no such rest periods in this map. It pretty much is just 0 to 100 right from the get-go, and it has very few let-ups in between. So there we go. Gemzu and Rusty, thank you very much for the tiebreaker, closing out this map pool showcase for the finals of Catch World Cup 2022. Just 2 more weeks to go and 1 more map pool after this. As we said previously, only 6 teams remain, and we're going to be down to only 3 at the end of next week's matches. Those 6 teams are going to be performing on the maps you have seen, and they'll be once again playing best of 13, so first to 7. There'll be 1 winners bracket final between South Korea and China, and then of course there'll be 2 matches for winning teams in the losers bracket. So 2 matches for like a losers semi-final, and then effectively like a 4th place playoff match, and then the loser of that will go to 4th place, and the winner will have a chance at competing for the podium spot in the grand finals in the following week. So as always, hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have feedback on the map pool or on the tournament as a whole, there are dedicated channels in the World Cup Discord. Of course, myself and 5Ws will be there in the map pool feedback channel if you wish to give us feedback on the composition of the pool, whether the difficulties fit, whether there are issues with timing or snapping. Of course, we're more than happy to fix those if they arise, because we want the experience to be as good as possible for all of you. Anything else you want to add?
I guess I would say to maybe pay extra attention to the double time pool, considering there is the kind of world first of AR 9.2 and a few things that can catch you off guard that is worth actually paying attention to. That's the only tip I have, though.
I thought you were going to say the world first of 5W mapping.
That too? I wasn't going to go that far. That's pretty much all I have, though. I'll do my best to read all feedback and continue to help improve the experience the best that I can.
Awesome. So as I said, hopefully you've all enjoyed. thank you very, very much, Fantasy, for commentating the Map War Showcase with me. It was a pleasure as always. I didn't get much of a chance to see the matches this weekend, but I'm looking forward to next weekend, and I hope that you all are as well. But it's going to be goodbye for us for now, unfortunately. I'm sure you will have school and work and other uninteresting things to go back to over the week. But we'll be here again next week for the finals, week 1 of the Catch World Cup 2022. So please follow the channel and you'll get notified of when we go live. You will not want to miss next week's matches. I am assuring you of that right now. But yeah, we'll be back again next week. Hopefully you'll all be back as well. And for now, that is going to be good night from us. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and an enjoyable week to come. And please take care. Rhythm is only a click away, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.